Have you ever heard the phrase, I know this, like I know the back of my hand? Well, it may make you question, do you really know the back of your hand? Because if you look at your hand, you see your skin, but it's also what you can see underneath the skin. That's pretty incredible. You can see the millions of cells that make up your hand at least, not with our microscope. We take those cells for granted sometimes, but your body is made up of millions of cells. Cells that are grouped together. Cells that are very organized with specific functions. Cells that carry your whole DNA code, but use specific parts of your DNA code depending on the cell's function. Those cells make up your body tissues. Tissues make up organs like your heart, for example, and organs are part of an organ system like your circulatory system. Organ systems are so important for you to understand in order to know how your body works. One thing to keep in mind is that organ systems do not work in isolation. They are not loners. They work together and are part of a big team. We're going to introduce the 11 major organ systems. Keep in mind that it's just a quick intro, so we're doing the bare bones. No pun intended. Of the system, because they're all important. It's hard to know where to start. So we're going to go in alphabetical order, because we don't want you to think that one is way more important than the other. First, the circulatory system. You think of blood and you should, because your blood carries gases like oxygen, which your body needs, and help remove carbon dioxide, which your body needs to expel. Your blood also transports nutrients that your body needs. Your heart is included in this system. It is a pumping machine that transports the blood around. Arteries are vessels that typically carry blood away from the heart. Think A is far away. Veins typically carry blood back to the heart, and capillaries are tiny blood vessels throughout your body. Did you ever hear the rumor that your body is blue and then turns red when it reaches oxygen? Guess what? That's not really true. Your blood is red and always red, even inside your body, though the shade of red can vary slightly due to the amount of oxygen present. Veins may appear blue or even green to you through the skin, but it's actually related to the wavelength of light. Do the Google for that. Second, the digestive system is important for breaking down and absorbing food for your body to get nutrients. Digestion actually starts in the mouth. You have some awesome enzymes in your saliva that get the process going. Your stomach contains acids to further this process. Your small intestine does most of the absorption of nutrients, and your large intestine has to reabsorb a lot of water from this process. This is a fascinating process, and there are a lot of accessory organs involved in this system too. Third, the endocrine system. You know how you're bigger than you were when you were 6 years old. Growth hormone is a hormone that's made a big impact on you. Notice how your heart starts to race when you have a big test that you haven't studied for. That's another hormone, adrenaline. The endocrine system includes many glands that secrete hormones. Another system that starts with E is Respiratory System. Another thing exists for excretory system because this system is all about excreting waste. I'm not talking about feces. because that's the digestive system, more like urine. This system involves your kidneys, lower back. The kidneys assist in removing waste from the blood. You know, they're important because anyone with impaired kidneys may need to go on a machine called dialysis to replace that function. The excretory system also includes for other ways of removing waste such as sweating, okay? 5. Integumentary system. Long fancy word is appropriate for your largest organ, your skin. Your skin helps protect your organs from outside damage, helps with temperature regulation, and from losing preserved water. 6. Lymphatic immune system. Has anyone ever checked your lymph nodes on your neck when you feel sick? You may have lymph nodes and they tend to swell during some illnesses. See, lymph is this clear fluid from blood plasma that surrounds cells. This system collects, filters, and returns the lymph to the blood, and a major role is to help with immune function. This keeps your body safe against pathogens like viruses and bacteria. Structures like lymph nodes, the thymus, spleen, tonsil, and bone marrow play significant roles in your immune system. 7. Okay, more than halfway done with your intro. Hang in there. 7. Muscular system. No bones about it. Your bones can do much without muscle to move them. You have three major types of muscle tissues known as skeletal, smooth, and cardiac muscle. 8. Nervous system. Your body could be a nervous wreck without something to coordinate it. This always helps me remember it. The nervous system includes the brain and your spinal cord. It controls voluntary actions that what you can control, like picking up your pencil, and involuntary system ones you don't control. Reflexes are an example of this. At the cellular level, the nervous system uses cells known as neurons, which they are amazing structure. These cells are kind of the core cells on the block. 9. Reproductive system. Like it sounds, the system includes reproductive organs. The major function here is that it allows for animals to reproduce, so think baby. 10. Respiratory system. It involves the lungs. The system involves the intake of oxygen into the body and exhaling carbon dioxide from the body. Remember that your body cells need this oxygen and they need to get rid of carbon dioxide in order to function correctly. 11. Skeletal system. Bones. Adults have 206 bones. You have more at birth, but some bones fuse together. And these bones support you, protect your organs, think rib cage, and even produce blood cells from the bone marrow that is inside the bone. Understanding how the human body works is fascinating and is necessary so that we can figure out what to do when things go wrong. There are doctors that specialize specifically with each of these systems. The most amazing part to us, though, is their beauty in how they work together, working every second to let you do the things that you do. Want an example? Let's say that when the bell rings at the end of the day, that you were to raise your friend down the hall. Think of all the body system interacting for that to happen. Your respiratory system is going to increase its breathing rate, and that extra oxygen is going to be delivered through the circulatory system to your body tissues. Your muscles are interacting with the skeletal system to move for movement. These are just some interactions of the systems working together for that example. The human body is just truly a magnificent masterpiece. That is for the amoeba system, and will remind you to stay curious.